Hey Rockstars, Don Nugent here. Just wanted to do a quick video for you just to show you something that I think would be very helpful for you. Next week as we're moving over to DocuSign, I've had, just say if I've got an opportunity that I created inside of Command and is now connected with my Dotloop account. So I've gone in and I've created the forms, I've sent them for signatures, and I've moved those forms back over into Command. And now I need to add maybe a different form. Maybe I need to add a closing date form or some other type of amendment to my Command file. Well, I'm going to jump into Command here and show you that I've got a buyer here that I worked with several months ago. And with this buyer, so I want to show you if I need to come in and I need to add additional form next week when I can't get them. This one is actually connected to Dotloop, so I can't go into Dotloop next week and be able to pull that form down and get it filled out. But I want to show you how I can go into DocuSign and create a room over here and bring that form in for me. So I'm going to jump into another tab here, and I'm going to go into Real Estate.DocuSign.com. So that's realestate.docusign.com, and I'm going to put enter, and it's going to bring me in my DocuSign sign-in window. I'm going to log in, I'm going to log in through my email address into DocuSign with my password. And it's going to bring me into my dashboard for DocuSign. What I want to do from here is I want to create a room. So I'm going to click on Rooms, and I'm going to create a new room that's going to match my opportunity that I already have in there. So I'm going to click on New. And it's going to bring me up my where I can do the room name, and I want to do that room name, and I've already put it in here. But so it's 3303 Haynes Drive, Spring Hill, and I got my client's last name. And so I am looking at being on the buyer side. So I put that information in. If I had a photo, I could upload the photo of the property, but I'm going to click Save. So that creates me the room of 3303 Haynes Drive. And it's going to bring me in here into my details section. And from here, I need to update my details section in here. And so I'm going to come in here and put, I've got my address in there. I'm doing the buyer side. And so I'm going to put Greg in here. And I'm just going to assume for the sake of brevity tonight that Greg is the only signature that I need here. If I needed the wife, I would be adding the wife. And I would in normal circumstances. But I'm just going to show you how this part would actually work. And I want to use a training email address that I've got here so I can show you how the signature portion and how to bring this form on in here. So let me get this off of here. Sorry. I'm going to pull this in, and it's looking for my email address here that I create for training. And so I've got that in there. And then now I'd fill out any other information here. If I had the seller's name, the other seller for his wife, I would put that in there. And I'm going to go in here and listing agent would be me. However, I'm not, I don't need my information in there at this point because this particular form I'm not having to fill out for me. So I just need his signature on it. But anyway, you'd want to put that information in there, fill out whatever you had here. I'm going to put the address in here of 3303 Haynes. This is so it would auto-populate onto the form for me. And so the city is in Spring Hill. And I could actually fill this out in the form itself if I wanted to at this point. But I'm going to show you where I can do this here, and then I can actually pull it up in the form itself and do it. And so if I wanted to add his wife Tamara in there, I can show you where I would do that when I get in there. So I'm just going to stop it at this point, and I'm going to save this information here. And then now I'm going to go over, now that I've got that details information in here, I need to go to the documents because I'm going to add a closing date amendment in here. So I'd click on Add Form, and I want to get that form for my DocuSign forms. And in there, I do not want to get out of the groups. I want to actually go down here to the library, and I want to get into my Tennessee forms, my TAR forms, and I'm going to type in closing. If I know the numbers to 657, I could put that there, or I can put closing date amendment. So I'm just going to put the closing date amendment here, typed in closing and bring that. So I'm going to bring me my form in. Once my form's in here is a blue form, so I know because it's a blue form, I'm in my room and I'm in documents, I can update and modify this form inside the document section of the room. So it's going to bring me my form up. So now I can actually type into this form if I wanted to. I could have filled out all this information with Greg. I can come in here and put Tamara in her name in here and add it in if I wanted to. I'm going to leave hers off now just for the sake of brevity for tonight. I'm going to do a closing date, and I'm going to put the closing date extension for the 25th of November and for 2021. And so now I've made a closing date change, and that's all. I'm not changing the possession. That's all I need to do. So I'm going to click Save and Close. So now I've modified this form, and I'm ready for Greg to be able to sign this, or in this case, I'm just using Greg as one buyer, but I would be sending it to his wife also. From here, I can check this box right here and go to here and do a create an envelope, or I can right click onto the document itself and create the envelope. This envelope that I'm bringing in, I need to name what this is going to be, and I'm just going to say this is a closing date amendment. And so I want to put a closing date amendment. And I'm going to put the date. It's going to be what the amendment date is going to be for, just in case I had multiple closing date amendments, different dates. In case that was to happen, and I would put the date that is being changed to. And I'm going to go down here and I'm going to do pre-tag roles. And since I'm only using Greg tonight for this, I'm just going to choose Greg in here as my seller. As my buyer. And I'm going to accept him in, and I'm going to have him. So in here, I'm going to say, please sign the closing date amendment. Yep, if I can spell tonight. Amendment. All right, and then I would put in whatever message that I wanted to put Greg. So I'd type in the message that I was going to put to him saying, please contact me when you get this. We'll go over it, review it, and you can sign it. I'm going to click next, and then so that's going to bring me the form up here so I can review it and make sure that everything is filled out like I want it to be filled out. And so in here, I've got my date in here. I would have had my buyers that I would have added over there. Greg in here. I've got my change of closing date and so forth. I'm just assuming from here I've got everything filled out. Now I'm ready to send it to Greg to sign. I click on the send. It's dropped it in the envelope, and voila, it's gone off through the mail and it's sent to Greg. So I'm going to jump down here over to my other training email here so that I can actually show you the other side. We bring in that email for Greg to sign. I'm logged in as my buyer now is Greg, and Greg is going to pull up this document to look at. It's going to bring him and allow him to come in and sign it. He accepts the electronic signature using electronic signatures. And then when I'm here, he can glance. I can review this with him. He can click Start Signing. When he clicks on Sign, it's going to let him choose adopt his signature. And then from there, he hits Finish, and that form has been signed. He doesn't have to log in to an account because it's going to automatically, when he gets through, it's going to come in here and it's going to automatically send him a copy of that form back that he has signed so he can be able to see that form. I want to jump back over into my DocuSign room. I'm going to refresh my room, and you will see now in this envelope it'll say that it's completed, that Greg has signed that form. So I will go into my documents here. And as you remember from our other classes that we've talked about, you have a couple of different type of documents that will display in here. The one is going to be the blue form. That's the one we initially filled out and got it ready to send for Greg. The green one is the signed form that came back from Greg. And then a summary sheet of a PDF summary of a certification here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on this form, and I want to download this form to my desktop. So I'm going to download the TAR form for me here. And so when I hit download, it's going to bring it back, and it's actually going to, I'm going to export it out and put it wherever you want to put it to be able to find it. I'm just going to stick it on my desktop. And when I click on save, it's going to save it to my desktop for me. And then from there, I'm going to go back in to my command. So when I click on my command, now what I want to do is I want to add that form in here. And remember, this is a closing date, an extension on here, and that would not normally be in your contract checklist. So I have to add this form in there. So I'm going to click here, and I'm just going to say I'm going to add a document. That document is going to be a closing date amendment for 11-25-21. So that's when that closing date amendment is going to be for. What type of document is it? It is an amendment. Where am I going to get that document from? Not from Dotloop. I'm actually going to be getting, I can't get it from DocuSign, so I downloaded it to my computer, and I've got it on my computer. And now I want to browse the file, and I'm going to go down here and I'm going to look for this TAR 657 form that I downloaded. And so when I go through, and there it is right there. And so it says sign, so that's my signed form. I'm going to click here. I'm going to click save. And now I have just brought that form in here. So there is the form on the bottom there. You can see I've done it a couple of times earlier tonight getting set up for this video. But when I pull this here, there's going to bring in, there's my amendment number 1. There's Greg done it. There's his signature. And so that form is brought in. So it's just that simple. If I've got a opportunity that I've created in here, that I have created a room and connected to Dotloop, and I need any additional new forms starting November the 1st forward, all I have to do is go over into my DocuSign, and when I go into my room, my general room tab at the top, I will click on create a new one here. And once I create a new that will match my room or my opportunity that I have over here in command, those two will match. I'll go into there, bring in what forms I need to get signed, download them to the desktop, come back over here, and then just bring those forms in here by adding the document. Or if I already have it on the list in here that I need, maybe I already have it and it's a confirmation of agency form, I can click on this here, and instead of choosing them from Dotloop, I would actually just say I'm going to get it from manually from my computer, and I can come here and say, that is my confirmation of agency. I click on browse here, and I go and browse that form and drop it in. Just that simple. So I just wanted to let you know that, and if you have any questions, please give me a shout. But this is just something that I think that will help you move forward next week. Thank you very much. And again, if you have any questions, reach out to me, and we will look forward to helping you and get this transition smoothly for you.